Hey, what's going on, guys? So this is going to be part 2 of the Lawn Care Accelerator meetup. In this one, we have Garrett Smith talking about what's kind of been going on with him the past couple months. And something pretty huge happened to him that was not good. But yeah, it just goes to show you the relationships that you build around the community, and just being able to rely on other people is huge. Second, we have Thomas Salazar, and he is actually the very first Augusta Lawn Care franchise owner. He says in the universe. I might take exception to that because we don't know alternate universes and all that stuff. But yeah, he's been going on 3 years now with his stuff, and listen to his numbers and his growth from year 1 to year 3, and also the goals that he has leading up to, I think, year 5 or something, 5 or 6. But yeah, he's hoping to do $1 million, and that's just insane to even think about. So yeah, this one's gonna be, I think it's around like 53 minutes or so. The last one was a little bit shorter, but this one we're gonna go ahead and wrap it up towards the end. But yeah, check out their stories and their discussion. If you have any questions or comments, leave them down in the comments below, and I'll try my best to answer them as best I can. If you guys have any ideas for future topics, leave them too. I think we might be doing in the next month or so, kind of going over some pricing as far as like snow, because that's going to be only 10 weeks left of mowing here in Colorado, about so snow can be here before we know it. So yeah, if you're not subscribed, go ahead and consider subscribing. I'd appreciate it. Also hit that like button. I'd appreciate that as well. And yeah, that's gonna be it for me for this one. I hope you guys enjoy part 2, and yeah, we'll catch you in the next one, guys. Later.
Sure. Yeah, let's move on to Garrett.
Cool. What do you want, just like a recent recap?
Yeah, I mean, positive that you had in your business, and a goal in the next year or 3 years or 5 years or whatever.
Okay, so I think you guys met into June, right? I missed the last one, I think.
May 14th.
May.
Oh, you didn't? You didn't meet in between?
It's been a while.
Okay, wow.
So yeah.
So between now and then, just to catch everyone up, so May 31st, my truck, a rental trailer, mower, all my power tools, weed eater, blower, everything got stolen.
No.
Yeah. And
that's like the scariest thing.
Yeah, the kicker was I just paid $2,200 for a Augusta yellow paint job on that truck, and so yeah, everything gone. So that was I woke up at like 5:30 in the morning and went out, and everything was gone. I was like, well, this is a problem. So yeah, it's been a little bit rough with that. The truck got recovered, but insurance is already paid out and everything. But the only thing I heard about it is that it was all spray painted black, so it's completely useless to me now.
Wow.
So yeah, it was, and then coinciding with that, like that week that the truck got stolen, I've been having some back issues, and I was in the ER twice that week. So it was kind of June started off like not on the right foot. So yeah, I was just trying to stay alive, just trying to not lose a ton of customers. Like I was like, okay, customers are gonna leave, like this is bad, and we're like way behind. Luckily I had a employee named Cole, and he basically kept the business afloat while I was like laying on my back and just like trying to get healthy and like get equipment and everything. So that was June. We did May we did like 15,000, and then June was 8,000, so it was definitely like revenue cut in half. So that was hard. And finally July, been having back problems like off and on. Finally the doctor just said like no more field work like for probably 2-3 months while I do physical therapy. And that was first week of July. So just kind of scrambled. I was literally like about to quit. I was like calling Thomas like, hey, like if you're wanting to buy me out, like I might be going out of business. Like I have to find someone in the next day or two, otherwise like I like literally like it's over. So that was, I think, second weekend of July, maybe.
Yeah.
So just a couple
weeks
weeks
ago, yeah.
Yeah.
Dang, man.
So kind of just scrambled, hired a guy. He worked for 3 days or two days and quit, and then hired another guy because my employee Cole is in India. So for the whole month of July. So like usually I just like fall back on him because he's an absolute rock star, an amazing guy. But had to hire some people. So finally it feels like I'm feeling a lot better, like doing physical therapy and everything. And I got, some guys working, and it feels like we're starting to make progress. We're at, I think, 82 recurring mows right now. And then I was able to pick up 2 trucks this week. So we got a backup truck, I got a truck, and then 1 truck on the road right now, like actually bringing in money. Just 2 little Ford Rangers. So that's where we're at. I think
What did you do for your mowing equipment and tools and stuff?
So the truck was a separate policy, but then I had Next Insurance on all of that stuff, and so that got paid out.
Okay, that's good.
Yeah, but I didn't know this, but apparently, like, when you rent something, like, even if you, like, the damage protection, like, you're not insured for theft. So the whole, like, I had a Home Depot rental trailer that was stolen because they just hopped in my truck, stole everything, and the trailer was hooked up to it. So I called Home Depot, and I was like, hey, like, the trailer got stolen. I made the police report and everything. And like, okay, we honestly don't know what to do. And then I got a call back, and they're like, hey, so looks like the payout for that was like $1,400. We're going to go ahead and charge the card. I was like, it's been stolen for 2 days. And I was like, wait, what do you mean? And so, like, I went there, talked to the manager, everything. They're like, yeah, there's nothing we can do. And, like, of course, they have your card on file.
They have to charge $1,400?
Yeah, and I also got charged for another 4 days of rental after it was stolen. I was
Man.
Yeah. Even though I reported it stolen literally, like, 8 hours after it was stolen. Like, as soon as I woke up, like, so... That was a learning lesson. So the total bill for that trailer was like, it was just over $1,900.
Wow.
Yeah. So, and even I checked out other rental places, and the one other I checked out said you're not covered for theft, and my insurance didn't cover it either. So it's all out of pocket.
So you got Next Insurance for your equipment?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And then
general
different
liability.
policies?
Yep. But then auto is through someone else.
So what's something positive?
So something positive is
He's here.
we're making a lot of progress, and so I've definitely never made like for myself like more than my employees because I'm usually focused on growth, which is good and bad. I think we're gonna build. Did I say this yet? I think we're gonna build 19,800 for the month of July, and then after
How much?
19,800.
19,800.
Yep.
For the month of July.
Yep.
Wow.
Dang.
Or not bill, collect. We've collected 19,000.
Dang. Still the same.
Well,
Yeah.
that's still a heck of a lot of money.
Yeah.
Mainly mowing, or
Yeah, almost exclusively mowing, and then a couple fertilizations and weed spraying.
wow.
But
Dude, that's like, I had to do a whole landscaping job and I'm still not close to you.
yeah.
Yeah.
You said you got 80-something mowing jobs, right?
Yeah, so we're
Yeah.
basically just doing mowing at this point, just so that I can try to like catch my breath and make sure like literally just the mowing gets done. But it feels like we're kind of getting momentum, and then I'm decided that I think we're in a spot where I can start paying myself starting tomorrow, just
Nice.
a little bit. So that'll feel good to be like we're definitely, we're not profitable, like we haven't broke even yet on the year, but like we're going in the right direction. So
Is that characteristic of like picking up a franchise?
I would say,
Or is it just the stuff that you had happen in May and late May and June?
yeah, that's a good question. So when Mike starts a franchise, he shoots for profitability after month 6, and usually cash flow opens up. Usually July is when like landscapers really like in general start to see increased margin. So yeah, I would say, so I say a lot of other people that like when they start, especially if you have a little more capital, like you can pay yourself and it's easier to become profitable quicker. But June definitely was a big like setback, and usually like at this size of business, you're profitable because you as the owner are the most efficient employee. You always show up to work. You always work super hard, and so that's also made it hard not like producing any revenue.
Right.
So
This dealing with your health issues is also big.
yeah,
It takes a
big
lot of
mental toll.
I had the beginning, I think March to May, I was out completely. You know, I had a kidney failure, so there was nothing I can do except be in the hospital, and I thought I was done too as well. You know what I mean? But you always have one guy that's like, dude, I'm gonna pull through, and I have that employee that's been with me for 4 years. I mean, we worked together with my dad, and we kind of went on our own. He's like, "Oh, I'm gonna mow for you, and I'm gonna do this for you," and I was like, "Man, I'm so blessed."
Absolutely.
Yeah.
But I'm glad, dude. You feel good. You know what I mean? I mean, getting yourself out there. You know.
Getting there, yeah.
So, are you parking your truck there now differently, like somewhere else? Your tools?
Me and Thomas are roommates now. This is the first time
We're
saying
yard
that
mates.
publicly.
Yeah, it's a great thing. We're sharing the same storage space now,
Oh.
yard space that we have. I got a cool little spot that I found, and it's really a good business setup the way this person has all of these yard spaces for rent. And I mentioned it to Garrett and in passing a few months ago or something like that, and then it finally came into fruition. He was like, "Yeah, actually, that's a great idea."
Yeah,
So,
I think I got a video of it.
Yeah.
So this is why it's important to build relationships and not
Yeah.
shun other people in this industry, is because you can have someone like Thomas.
Thomas is a good guy to know.
Yeah.
Well, Garrett's the one who told me about you, who you were like the OG for Augusta Lawn Care, and I'm like,
OG franchisee.
Oh, okay. So we did talk
Franchisee,
about him
not
at the
Mike
first
Andy.
meeting.
yeah, I should probably clarify.
Yeah.
OG franchisee.
Yeah.
So that's all Thomas's stuff on the left, and those are the 2 trucks I picked up this weekend.
Oh, nice.
And when Garrett was when he talked to me a few weeks ago about that he was injured and he was talking about selling, I said,
It's all
no, we're
fencing.
not letting that happen, man. I was like, let's get you some employees. And another good reason to be communicating with other people is, I started to get an overflow of applicants, and I was like, I'm sending them all to you now, and you can, we're gonna keep you going. You're not selling. This isn't over. So. It's been a great thing, and it's awesome. Yeah, networking and having good relationships with people. There's no reason for, and of course we're both in Augusta, so I definitely I'm gonna have his back too. But even people that aren't inside of Augusta, it's like we don't have to be in competition. We can help each other.
Yeah.
Like I was saying, a rising tide lifts all boats, ships, whatever. So
Yachts.
yeah. So it can be a beautiful thing, and I'm glad Garrett's still here and a part of it.
Yeah,
I would say,
dude, you should let me know. Like, if you needed like a mower or a backpack blower, or
There's equipment sometimes just sitting there. I mean, for backup, and I mean, it wouldn't hurt. I mean, I let another guy use some equipment, because he had like secondhand equipment. Is that how you say it? Like used equipment, and it broke down, and he was struggling. And I was like, dude, I bought some equipment for my backup, but I'm not using it. Use it, get yourself up, and then go buy your own. He did, and he's still out there. You know what I mean? And one of the things my dad always taught me was help each other out, so all of you can sit at the same table.
I like that.
What I mean? And instead of sitting by yourself, you still have everybody that was with you at the same table, and you guys can talk about how cool it was, the experience, and how everything was, instead of, I'm bigger than you or you're bigger than me, So
It's like that saying, alone you can go fast, but together you can go far.
yeah.
damn, that's good.
Yeah, I like
Never heard
Who
that
said
one,
that?
but was-
I don't know.
I'm gonna have to look that
I think
up.
he came up with that.
Oh, yeah, I know.
Thomas Salazar. I don't remember where I
Sage
picked that
advice
up.
from Thomas Salazar, right?
Salazar, yes sir.
Thomas
Yeah.
Salazar.
I don't remember where I picked it up at though, but yeah.
So a goal that you have for this year, 3 years, 5 years?
Okay. Yeah, and kind of to wrap up, what Thomas was saying is I think like anything like good that happened in July is really like due to like the people around me. And that's been huge because, like, literally, like, my, like, voice note to him was like, hey, like, I'm probably about to go out of business. And he was like, no, you're not. And this guy, like, we had not met or anything. But, yeah, just, like, I've, had so many people, like.
Vulnerability right there.
Yeah.
That's a leader. That's just.
No, it's like you said, help people, man. If you can help people, for sure. It's a beautiful thing.
Go ahead.
Yeah, no, that's been huge. Like, anything, like, I can't, like, it's just been the people around me, like, stepping up, and it's, like, it's exciting because, like, I've needed the help, but, like, like, just countless people in Augusta, outside of Augusta, employees and family, it's been huge, so. A goal, so I'm just, I think, like, in the past, like, I've really just, like, the one, like, metric I've looked at is, like, what's top line revenue, because that's kind of like the ego metric of, like, oh yeah, I do this much per month. It's like, how much do you actually make? Like, you can do however much revenue you want, but if there's nothing left at the end of the day, like, it kind of isn't a ton of fun a lot of times. So this fall I really want to capitalize just on, like, putting money in the bank and having, like, a little bit of breathing room, and to somewhat, like, halt growth, and just have a little more security.
Would you put that in the bank for yourself or for Augusta Lawn Care?
So ideally I'd like to have
Both.
Both. I mean, who wouldn't? But I think a little bit outside of Augusta would be good, just in case, like, anything ever happened. Like, I know I wouldn't be at, like
an
literally
emergency
at zero.
fund, kind of.
Yeah, kind of like an emergency fund. But also, like, I do realize, like, small business, in my opinion, is the best investment you can make. So, money spent now on trucks, on getting more clients, on equipment, on hiring the right team, is more profit down the road. So it's always a balance of, like, okay, profit now, or really grow the business now so we can have really big profits later.
Build and invest in your business, and then you'll reap the reward.
But also, like, if you never make it to that far part and you just are always reinvesting, then you have nothing left to show for.
Eating ramen noodles and
So it is a tricky balance.
Yeah, I think because we're at the second half of the year, and this is definitely seasonal where we're located, it's time to really start getting money in the bank and keeping it there for spring.
Fall and snow are going to be here before we know it.
Yeah.
All right, Thomas, how about you?
I'm Thomas Salazar. This is my third year in business with Augusta Lawn Care Services.
Franchisee.
I was the very first franchisee. I've been following the gentleman Mike
in
Andes
America,
in the world,
in the world,
in the universe, in the Milky Way galaxy. How about that?
In our presence, man.
Also, when he started, you were the first one to.
Yeah.
Wow.
I was the first franchisee. When he said he was franchising, I blew up I went to his site and said, let me in. I want in. Because I've been following Mike Andes for a while, his content, and I knew there was something special about the way he talks about and everything. So I was bought in from day one. So this is my third year. And, the first year, I didn't have a lot of capital. I didn't have a lot of capital to begin with, so... I'm growing a little slower than some of our other franchisees because of the fact that I didn't have a lot of capital. We had COVID on 2020 and all these other things, but we're on a good growth trajectory. The first year we did $100,000 in revenue in 2020 with COVID and everything. The second year we did like 246, and this year we're not going to quite double. I've definitely slowed down. We'll do over 300, but right now I'm like where Garrett was talking about, like, it's time to, like, get money stacked for winter, and then spring just unload. And we're going to get, my goal for next year is we're going to get past the 500,000 mark, because between the 200 or 250 and 500 is a very weird place profit wise. So we got to get past that. So my goal for this year is just to try to, we got 3 solid full-time employees, and then we got a part-time guy, and then myself, of course. And right now it's just a matter of getting the at least 1 or 2 of the guys. It'd be great if all of them came back next spring. but if I can get at least one or two of them to come back next spring, commit to, the future goals, become a general manager, an estimator, that'll really help get to that. That'll help a lot of ways. So
how many employees do you have?
3 full-time and then 1 part-time.
Not including you?
Not including me.
So you're out in the field as well, like mowing?
If I'm mowing, and I let the guys kind of know, if I'm mowing, there's a problem. Like, I don't need to be mowing, but I will mow. I am definitely, I
like
will
if a guy's
do it.
sick or something.
Yeah, if something like that. We've had some guys, I don't know what's going on. When I grew up, we had to work 5, 6, 7 days a week growing up. I don't know where everyone's got money coming from these days, but like most people don't even care if they're like, they don't want to work on Saturdays. Everyone wants a day off at least once a week. It's like, can I take Friday off? And it's like,
or get out early.
You get 3 months off in the winter. What are you talking about?
I know. So it's weird for me, but we're making it work. We're making it work.
You have to adjust to the generation, I guess.
Yeah, so it's definitely different. On Fridays, I might have a couple of trucks just sitting there, and it just drives me crazy. It's like, man, but hey, it's the world we live in right now. So, but I'm excited for it. And the future goal is by 2025 was the original goal, but now it's 2026 is to be $1 million revenue company, have a general manager in place, and either open a new location around here or back home in Florida, or we'll see what happens from there. Let's get to this thing first. Let's get through this first part.
That's a big goal. Yeah. Like I can't even imagine hitting $1 million. Like I'm fine. I'm not fine with what I'm making now, but like I have a dream of like doing $1 million. Like that would be nice.
It's absolutely possible. I promise you.
I know it's possible. I see other people doing it. Not just the big YouTube stars or influencers or whatever. But it's just thinking about that. It's like wow.
It's crazy.
And like, but I like. People just don't think that like lawn care can make you a millionaire.
Oh yeah, that or everybody. I had one person tell me anybody can be a landscaper lawn care. Just go buy yourself a mower and just start mowing.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like,
anybody can, but can anybody grow a real business?
Yeah.
And anyone can if they, whether you think you can or you think you can't. You're right. Yeah. So I mean, where's your focus? If you wake up believing, I'm just a landscaper and I can't do that. I can't become $1 million company. Then you're right. You're not going to, But you can if you want that. Not everybody wants that either. It's because it comes with its own stress when you start talking about.
Yeah, some people might be fine with doing $70,000 a year.
Yeah.
Like, hey, that's if that's what you can do to live comfortably and provide for yourself, and you're happy with that. Like, more power to you. But I think it was Jonathan with Florida Turf Pros. I watched a video a couple weeks ago. He was talking about like, are you the yard help? I don't know if you guys seen that video,
I did
but it's
see
like,
that, yeah.
Don't be like the yard guy or the yard help. Like, be a professional lawn care operator, and like present yourself in a professional way. Because I think we got to start like changing people's homeowners' mentality of like the lawn care guy.
Oh yeah, that's our whole mission.
Like driving in a beat up truck, which there's nothing wrong with that. No. If that's where you are. But like being polite on the phone or being polite in person, returning calls, showing up on time, because like that's what these people pay for. Yeah. They're hiring a professional company to provide a professional service, and you have to act professionally.
Absolutely. If you want to get paid like a professional, you got to act like a professional.
And command those higher prices that we all should be trying to command. Like, you have to.
One of the things I tell my guys pretty quickly when I hire them is, if you ever want to make $100,000 a year, you cannot have the mindset of a $20,000 a year person. You're going to have to evolve. And if a $100,000 a year person wants to make $1 million a year, he cannot have the $100,000 a year mindset. You got to evolve too, and so on and so forth. So it's the same thing with landscaping. If you just think of yourself as some, $20,000 a year person, then that's you'll reciprocate that to your clients, and that they're not going to want to pay you, because that's the energy you're giving off.
Yeah.
So absolutely.
So from year 1 to year 2 to year 3, what was it that made you make those huge jumps in revenue?
Well, the franchise is a big, obviously a huge part of it all. I've tiptoed in my own landscaping company before Augusta, and I wasn't fully, there was just, I didn't have the answers. Like, I worked for a landscape company years ago, and the guy that I worked for, he took a horticulture class, and he told me, he said, if I could do it all over again, I would not have taken this horticulture degree. I would have went and got a business degree, because you can learn this horticulture stuff when you're in the field. The business stuff is the hardest part of this whole thing. So, and that really resonated with me. But when I jumped on the franchise, when that happened, I had a lot more access to Mike and his systems and his ideas and everything. And plus, I've been listening to pretty much every episode he's ever put out, between him, Florida Turf Pros, and Jonathan Patushnik, Millionaire, and all the and just listening to all kinds of things. So I mean, it all added up. But the franchise, to answer your question, from 100,000 to 246 or whatnot, it was the website. We are in a pretty, the website was huge. I had
what specifically about the website, like
because
SEO? Or?
Because when you're with franchise, they're working on it in the back end, and they're staying on top of it. So between having the website going on, following the systems, being laser focused on doing what you should be doing, that really helped the trajectory of everything. But if I had to say, the main ingredient, well, obviously would be yourself, but with the franchise, that really, really made a huge, huge difference. Like, there's no way I would have gotten this far by myself. Back to that, alone you can go fast, together you can go far. Whole thing, because the franchise really made a big difference.
So the marketing and all this other stuff is.
I had to turn off marketing the first year.
Really?
Like, I had to turn off marketing. I turned it on in the very beginning of spring, because I get all like, I got to get on top of this before, and then it's like, turn it off, never mind.
I think I was with Augusta 1 week before I was like, I have to turn off marketing.
Yeah.
This is too much. Like, yeah.
Just phone calls and phone calls.
That website makes a huge difference.
Yeah. I feel like it's the website, because I know a guy down in Castle Rock that he hasn't really done much advertisement. He's done like some door-to-door, like hangers around Christmas time, but he has a website, and he's trying to push stuff off to me because he's full, and he keeps getting reached out to, and it's just from the website.
And Mike does a
LawnCare
website
webdesign.com. Yep. Best $3.99 a month you could ever spend. I just shut mine down maybe like 3 weeks ago. But if you, 3 weeks ago, searched Lawn Care Glendale, it was Augusta Lawn Care, and then Awesome Lawn Care, which was my old one. Yeah. And then it was Yelp, Home Advisor, and then second page of Google.
Lawn Care Ninja.
Yeah. Well, Lawn Care Ninja was first, but then after that. So.
And there is a thing called growing too fast. I'm sure you've probably talked
about what?
Growing too fast.
Mm-hmm.
Like, that is a very dangerous thing. You can grow too fast. So, you got to be real careful with that whole thing. You can get yourself in trouble.
I've seen some of those guys.
That's what I'm trying to do, is not grow too fast, because I get people reaching out, but I'm just like, there's some days where I overbooked myself, where it's like I'm a solo guy and I'm doing 18 lawns one day, and then there's other days where I'm doing 10, which is, I'm done by noon to 3 most days.
Yeah.
So it doesn't seem like I'm working enough, but at the same time, I don't think people understand just unloading, reloading all the equipment and stuff.
A solo guy, that's a lot of work.
Everything's on you.
I would challenge you to go ahead and get a part-time helper.
Yeah.
And start. I mean, we only got a few weeks left of mowing, I guess, but still, when the fall leaves, cleanups come, and other things, I would challenge you just to,
Pine needles is what we have down in Castle.
What are you doing in monthly revenue?
Monthly revenue, last month was at 6,000, and that was just because I was still gaining a lot of my customers. This month will be about close to 10.
Wow,
So
that's awesome.
I'm getting up there. I've dropped some clients just to pick up new clients that are more route density in that 55 plus neighborhood that I was talking about. I'm just trying to narrow it down, because if I can stay close, like when I'm up in that 55 plus, because of how close all the houses are, I finish 8 houses this past Tuesday in 2 hours, and they're all about 40 apiece.
Wait,
so,
8 houses in 2 hours?
yeah.
I was like, yeah. I was like, what?
Yeah, because
How
they're
big
all
are they?
like, it's just one little block, and they're all on the surrounding streets right there. So
That's
it's like,
what route density
yeah,
does for
I don't
you.
have to.
Absolutely.
I don't have to drive anywhere. I could just stay parked and walk my mower down, because I just use a push mower. I don't have any riding mower, but I could just literally do it all just parking in one spot and then do everything if I really wanted to. There's times where I'm like, there's some people up there I know that are going to talk to me, because they're older, they're retired, they want to come out, they don't really see a lot of people, so they want to come out and talk. So I sit there and I put that in. Like, I know I'm going to be, I save them for last, because I'm like, I know this person is usually the one that comes out and talks, so I'll wait and save them last, because then I could sit there and actually talk to them without like sitting there looking at my watch being like, I gotta go and stuff. So I actually talk to them, and they're like the second person I picked up there, and they've referred me to a lot of people, so I don't mind sitting there talking, because they've gotten me a lot of business. So I'm perfectly
Sometimes
fine
you
with
gotta
sitting-
keep them happy
Yeah.
and just be a friend to them.
Yeah.
I've had people like that too.
Yeah.
Like there was one, I was working for Wayne a long time ago. There's this old man, his name was Matt, and he was our first yard Monday morning. And we'd get to his yard at 8 o'clock in the morning, and we wouldn't leave until like 9:30.
Oh no, that's how you start your week.
It sounds like Matt needs to be the last one of the day.
Well, I mean, yeah, I mean, it was 10 years ago or so, but it was for me, it was a nice way to start my Monday,
Yeah.
because
Okay, nice.
he would we would talk about the Rockies, the Broncos, like politics, like
set
just
the tone
whatever.
for the week.
Like
Nice.
we'd rake stuff for him. We'd take trash cans of like pine cones out to his dumpster.
I do that for some of my people, where it's like I bag for them. I bag the clippings for them, and the only thing is I do it on the day before that their trash comes, because I'll set their trash cans out, because they're older. They walk on walkers and stuff. So if it's got a bag of grass clippings in there, they're not going to be able to haul that down their driveway. So I just pull it out of their garage, put it down at the end of the curb when I'm done. I'm like, that's really what it is. It's like you save them for last. Like I always save my talkers for last.
I guess I got a question now that you guys are just talking. So how many yards should one guy cut?
3 if they're really big.
That
400
and 15 if they're really small. Yeah,
It
right.
depends on the size, really.
Yeah, it depends on size, route density, your equipment.
Like you're cutting 18 and you're one person.
Yeah.
He's cutting 18. He's one
My
person.
Thursdays.
Yeah, on Thursday.
I had 20 on Monday, and then it was like
really
I'm
was
sending
one
I'm
on
sending out
Tuesday.
2 guys for 21 yards.
It just depends on the size of the yards, how far apart they are.
I would say
all that.
figure out like the way to work it backwards. I would say is, so if you say, all right, this guy makes, we'll say $20 an hour. He's going to work 10 hours. He's getting paid $200 for that day. Multiply that by 3 would be a good number. But at least it needs to be 2.5 times that in order to be 40% or less of the labor revenue.
So are you full route multiply by 3?
Yeah. So whatever. So let's say the route is let's say the route is $600. You divide that by 3.
Divide or multiply it?
Divide.
Oh.
Because I'm doing it
I'm
doing it backwards.
Okay.
but
You could multiply it
6
times 0.333 if you want.
Yeah.
Which is the same, sort of. Yeah.
Basically.
Anyway, sorry. Go
Yeah.
ahead.
So if it's like 600 in a day, then you know that you need to pay out like $200 or less. So if it's one guy making $20 an hour, you know he's got to get it done in 10 hours or less. Otherwise, you're probably not making money.
I get that.
And the problem is, if you're paying him by the hour and you overload his plate, he's going to be like, what are you talking about?
Yeah.
But if he's on P for P, he's like, give me some more.
Yeah.
Because, this day and age, too, P4P works out because a lot of people just don't want to work. They have a job because they need the money, but they'd rather be at home. So they're like, hey, I'm getting $200 today, whether I work 10 hours or 6 hours or less. Like, I'm going to bust my ass and get out there and get it done. Yeah, you want to make sure that they're not, like, doing it too quick to where they're missing things.
I think
I
that's.
think you guys talked about that, where if they have to go back, like,
Yeah.
I don't know how that affects
Yellow
people.
slips, basically.
Yeah.
It basically eats into their bonus money that they gained by being efficient. But if you have to go back and fix something, it's starting to eat into that above base pay money, you know. So
I think that's gonna be like my Monday conversation. I think.
yeah,
Because
but-
I'm being, like, the reason I'm asking is because I'm struggling with one of the, you know, with one of the guys that came on. Is like, I gave him, like, you know, the other day they had 18, and I done it myself. You know what I mean? It took me quite a bit, but they got all rider mowers and all that stuff. But the other day they left like 4 because they couldn't finish. They started at 8 and it was like 5:30. So then I was like thinking, I was like,
But they still made because they're on hourly, so it doesn't matter.
that's what I'm saying. They were
Yeah.
hourly. So then I was like, I was talking to my wife. I was like, I can't have this. I mean, I can't keep going back on Saturday playing catch up. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
well, I got to go and finish whatever they didn't finish or something like that. So I gotta tell them now. You know what I mean?
Well, this is the thing. I mean, when you put yourself in the employee's mindset, and you know, we've all been there working for other people, is when someone tells you, I need you to work faster or harder or smarter, and then but you're going to get paid the same amount of money no matter what. It's like, well, that doesn't equal out. So that means if I work faster and smarter and harder, and if I get off early, I'm actually losing money, but you're gaining money.
Yeah.
That ain't going to work. The P for P eliminates all of that. The faster, smarter, harder you work, the more money you make, you know. So that P for P is it's coming, whether some people want to accept it or not. It's on its way, and the best thing you can do is get involved, because you will capture good people. You're going to keep them, and if not, if they move on to other things or whatever, they'll get replaced by other people that will be about that. So P for
Mike-
P is huge.
Mike Andes does have a book. It's called like P for P, right? Just
Yeah.
P for P.
Yeah, P for P, why hourly is a failing formula. I think it's 99
You know,
cents.
you can buy it on
ebook.
Amazon and give it a read, and he
It
gives
doesn't matter if it's
examples and-
$500, it's worth it. But it is. It's like $10 or something.
Yeah.
It's not
Yeah,
that
yeah,
expensive.
it's just
It's
very
worth
cheap.
it. Whatever it is with its cost, it's worth it. It'll change your business for sure.
Yeah, for example, like we've been like behind all week. We started Tuesday off with half our labor force has a sprained ankle, and then we were like 20 lawns behind or something. So literally today, my employee who's healthy worked like a 12-hour day, just busted his butt all day. But he made, I just calculated, I think he made $442 today.
in one day.
Yeah.
Wow.
I mean, here's the
Oh.
thing: you got a company who's franchised, and now they have about almost 100 locations, and they're all using P for. Well, I'm pretty sure most of them are.
Most.
Yeah, like most of them are using it. It's working. Like if somebody successful gives me advice, you know, and if I don't listen to them, it's like, what am I doing? You know, like it's working. Like you want to get in on this action, big
Yeah.
time. It'll change your business. I know I already said that, but
No, I mean, it's good because, like you say, I mean, the employee, you know what I mean, we're in the business to make money, you know, and just sometimes, like you said, the knowledge is not all the way. So I was just wondering the other day because they were taking forever. I'm like, why are these guys taking
they're not
forever?
incentivized to move
Yeah.
faster. They're not.
They're
There's no
incentivized to move slower, because if they milk the clock, they sit in the AC, then like
They
and
make
they
more
work
money.
till 5:30. They're still making good money.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, they're incentivized to take longer in a regular hourly formula.
Yeah. All right. I think we're gonna wrap this up. I want to respect everybody's time, especially yours.
Oh, I'm good. I mean, I'm in. I like
but yeah,
to learn. So I mean,
I don't know if you guys. Hopefully, you know about Equip Expo coming up in October. I'm going.
Where?
Huh?
What is it?
Equip Expo.
GIE.
It's GIE,
Oh,
but they changed it to Equip Expo.
Is that in Kentucky or something?
But yeah, huh?
Is that in Kentucky or something?
Louisville, Kentucky,
Okay, yeah.
October 18th through the 21st. But yeah, I'm going. I don't know if any of you guys are interested in going.
Like
or not,
say one of
but-
our main people from Augusta will be there,
Ryan Payne
Yeah,
and
man.
Kevin Fairburn.
and Mike Andes.
Oh yeah, I met
And
Mike.
Liz,
I met
yeah,
Mike
yeah, they'll
out
be
there
there.
last year on the last day, and I was like, man, I didn't know who you were. I didn't really care who you were like last year, and then just all of a sudden, like, I started watching your videos, and like you made sense, and like I've been watching his videos like ever since, and
I used to watch his videos before I was even in business, just because I like watching people mow lawns and stuff. That's just the way
so
it
your
is.
comment wasn't sarcastic?
No.
Okay, I thought it was.
I think I haven't
just
seen the
like watching
videos. Except last time, when was it, like a week ago, I seen a video of, I guess, a client was like complaining, and he was like, if you just know I'm the owner of this company.
Yeah.
And I was like,
Yeah.
man, you know how many times I go through that? You know what I mean?
Yeah, everybody knows I'm the owner, though, so that's because it's my last name.
Yeah,
Yeah, my whole thing is I don't want these clients to know I'm the owner.
exactly.
Like,
That's
I do
one
not
of the,
want them to know.
I went to school for business, but it was like way back. It's new now. It's like everything has changed.
Yeah.
But that's the first thing they tell you. If everybody knows you're the owner, they want discounts. They want this. They want that.
And they got to call you for
Yeah.
every
Yeah.
little thing.
Oh, I know the owner, so I'm gonna call the owner. I was like,
yeah, yeah.
But yeah, Equip Expo. I'm going if you guys want to.
I may or may not be there.
Yeah. I think tickets are only $20, but like if you use code Brian for like Brian's Lawn Maintenance or Paul for Paul Jameson, you save like $10. The biggest expense I think is going to be a hotel.
Yeah, no, that's
Like mine
what
was
I'm
like
worried about.
$900, and I'm like, oh.
I used to work at a hotel, so I know that they upcharge just because of
the expo.
Yeah.
yeah. Even though they say they have discounted rates, it's not discounted. They bump them up and they make it seem like it's discounted because
Yeah.
the regular room prices are going to be bumped up even further. But
Yeah, if you guys haven't gone, I went last year. It was my first year. It was a ton of fun, and just seeing all the new equipment. I didn't get a chance to ride any of the stuff or test any of the stuff last
I
year,
think you
but
were so busy doing interviews. You were probably busy doing interviews.
I was. Yeah, I
I
was.
saw all your-
But yeah, I'd love
I want
to. If
to
you
go.
guys do go, I'd love to meet up with you and
Absolutely.
like, hang out and maybe grab a bite to
Sean's
eat.
just gonna
They have
Airbnb.
concerts there, and in the evenings and stuff.
Really?
all of us get
Wow.
Airbnb.
They got concerts? at
Yeah,
night
like
and stuff?
Yeah, that'd be
at,
cheaper.
Like at the
I
expo?
can't remember what it's called, but it's like 4th Street Live or something.
okay.
But they have like live concerts like all weekend or
Yeah,
or
yeah.
Friday.
All, like every night of the.
I want to go. It's
Expo.
just more or less
Wow.
to see where we are. Like
You-
as far
Are
as
you
the year's
thinking about
going.
it at all?
Honestly, I'm not going to be able to make it this year. My trips are planned already for the rest of the year. I'm pretty tight right now on things.
Yeah, I mean it's kind of a luxury thing, but it was a great experience because like
Yeah.
when I first started my business, I had no idea stuff like this existed. I had no idea things on YouTube like Mike Andes and Brian's Lawn Maintenance, all these other people. I had no idea that existed on YouTube, and then all of a sudden it's like, whoa, there's so much information out there for everyone.
There was a small expo, I guess, up in Denver of equipment as well, and then another expo, the one I was telling you. Did you go to the expo? You're like, I didn't even know that was happening. With
here in
the-
Colorado,
yeah,
right?
Right.
Yeah, I had no idea about
idea.
the one
I
in
think
Colorado
there's
either.
Because my neighbor's a landscaper. He owns a landscaping company, and he goes up to the expo every year. But I thought, isn't it at the beginning of the year?
Yeah, it was the beginning of the year. I didn't
During
know.
the
So
winter, they go up.
I texted him. I was like, "Did you go to this expo? I didn't even know what was happening."
Yeah.
And I was
Yeah.
like, "Oh,
Yeah.
they did. We didn't make it."
Well, it's a good way to meet your fellow landscapers in the community.
Yeah.
If you have some here and at other towns or whatever, like we said, it's good to communicate with each other. I think it's great.
Yeah.
I have a guy that wants to come to these meetings from Fort
Invite him.
Collins.
Yeah.
He's like, if you would have let me know, like, because I was telling him, why don't we meet in the center and we can just ride together and then we'll just come back and I'll drop you off or you drop me off and we just go to.
I got a question. I'm sorry. Is anybody going to Landscape Summit in January?
That's the real question.
Have y'all heard of it?
Is that a Mike Andes one?
It's a landscaping one.
Landscapers across the universe.
Yeah, it's in Washington.
I'm
it's
not
in
much
January.
into landscaping.
Well, it's a business type of. It's about building cultures and teams and P for P and all of that stuff. We're not going to talk about cutting grass or equipment. We're going to talk about the business side of things.
Did they
What's
have
it
it
called?
this year?
It's called Landscape Summit.
Did they
Is
have
that what
it
it's
this
called?
year?
Yeah, I
Landscape
think it's
Summit,
3 years running. Yeah.
Yeah, so it'll be in January. It's I think 6th, 7th, and 8th. It's Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. The first week, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday of January, and that's when it is. So
They did it this past January.
Yeah, I think I heard about it
Yeah, 'cause
last
I've
year
seen
from Mike,
advertisements.
and I think I commented on one of his videos that it was too late for me to like.
well, it's not too late right now.
I know.
So you-
Are you going?
Oh yes, I'll
Yeah,
be there.
yeah,
Garrett will be
I
there.
might check that out.
I feel like
Franchisees
all
will be
the
in there,
Augusta
so.
franchisees
Hopefully, it's cheaper than
Yeah.
Equip
Well, we
Expo.
have our.
Did you say it's
franchise,
$20 at the
conference,
expo?
like, the day
Well, the
before it
whole
starts,
thing,
so-
like hotel
Oh, the
and
hotel,
airfare.
yeah. So
Hopefully,
it's,
that's all
the
cheaper.
hotels
More like-
probably won't be as expensive,
I feel-
just
Yeah.
I see
because
his
it's not as
TikToks.
It's
big
in the middle
as the
of
expo.
January.
Like if I'm standing
Yeah,
on
well, it's the
water,
first
like,
weekend of
I thought there
January.
was a ticket.
Yeah, so
It's like, oh,
in
you
winter.
run out of time to get
Yeah,
tickets to
yeah,
landscape.
yeah, and it
We've probably
is
seen like
worth
2
it.
years ago or something.
You're gonna leave with some information.
People already
It's
saw
gonna
it.
be good.
Yeah, I'll
And
definitely
there's a
check
lot of
that out.
landscapers that'll be there too,
Yeah,
so
I
you'll make
just-
good
I
connections
always
as
see
well.
his
So
videos. He's been making some
definitely
goofy videos.
check it out.
Did anyone else
I
from Colorado
cannot
go?
keep up with. He's just pumping.
Yeah, he pumps out
I mean,
videos like
I'm not sure if I don't know.
What was
I don't
the
know
question?
if there was
If
other
anyone
people
else from Colorado went to
was
it?
there last time. I don't
I
really
would
know.
not know.
Yeah, I don't know. They come from all over the excuse me, the country though. It is definitely worth your money. I promise you.
Yeah, so if anyone's listening or watching this, like there are resources out there for everyone.
Absolutely.
Landscape, what is it?
Landscape Summit.
Landscape Summit
Yeah.
and Equip Expo, and like just networking with people, and don't be shy about introducing yourself to someone you drive by who you see every week. Cutting a yard, and
See him at the gas station. Say hi.
yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
I've met
so I
many
appreciate.
people in this past week just driving by, just stop and talk to them. And there's a company that was trying to give me all their clients down in Castle Rock because they're going to college out of state, and they've been in business for 7 years, and they're just leaving it behind. And I was like, man, I don't have enough manpower to take on the whole, like, your whole business basically.
Yeah.
So
But yeah, I appreciate you guys coming, and hopefully the next one, or not hopefully, the next one will be scheduled for the middle of August, so in about 2 weeks or so. If this time works fine for everyone, around like 6:30, we'll probably keep that. If you'd rather have it like on a Friday or Saturday or a Sunday, or if Thursday worked fine for you,
yeah.
I can keep that
Yeah, I
too.
think what you do is sending out the emails and having us fill out the survey thing works well to get feedback, because it could switch for everybody. Because I
Yeah.
know the person that I know down in Castle Rock that wants to come, he was able to come on I think it was a Friday, but he can't do Thursdays, so it's like,
He can't do
I don't
Thursdays.
think he can because he doesn't have a babysitter on Thursdays.
Okay.
But he's got one on Fridays. So it's
Then
just-
maybe the next one might be Tuesday,
Yeah.
Wednesday, or a Friday or something like that.
I'm usually pretty open, and
yeah.
I'll let you know if it ain't gonna work for
I'm
me.
hoping
Yeah, I mean, if you guys can't
You're the one
make
that's
it,
gotta try, so-
hopefully,
Yeah, this guy, that-
hopefully you can like listen to it or watch it or whatever.
Absolutely.
And
I think
come to the next one.
If you
but
give us heads up, then you can usually plan
your
day.
wife will let you know if
Yeah.
you're going or not.
Yeah, if you're listening, if you're listening.
Well, I texted him. I'm like, "Hey man, I'm glad you can make it." He's like, "Oh, I had no idea. My wife just did everything for me and was like,
I
you're
didn't.
going to this."
I have her text right there. It's like, oh, I signed you up. I paid the whatever the money. I was like,
"Thanks
and
for
I'm like,
paying, Eric, we'll see you.
yeah,
We'll see you
where am I going? He's like, to your meeting, to your lawn care meeting, and I was like, who's having that? And I was in a. I mean,
I didn't want to go.
no, that's not. It's but it's like you're so under work. You're like working every day. Then you go home. Your schedule. Your invoice and all the 9 yards.
Just go where the Google Maps tells you to go. Here you go.
Yeah. Nah, it
Yeah,
was
if
awesome.
there's any food left over, feel free to take some. And
Well, one question I have for you guys with Augusta: does Augusta not do snow removal?
You can do whatever you want basically
Okay.
with Augusta. So there's some franchisees that plow and do other types of
Okay.
like snow removal.
Yeah.
Because it sounded like you take the winter off, or is that just?
Did I sound like that? February is our slow month. I've decided right now I'm not doing snow removal. We may in the future. I'm still deciding. But yes, you can choose to do whatever you want to do. I will say that simplification is the key to growing faster.
Yeah.
You mean like not taking off on a bunch of services?
Maybe in the beginning you might want to take on a bunch of services to get some revenue coming in, but eventually, well,
you want to focus on what your thing is. Or?
Yeah. I mean, simplification is really is something we go big on. You know, I'm not gonna. Yeah. Basically, simplification is huge. But in the beginning, you might want to take on a lot of things and then slowly start clipping things away.
Me, honestly, I would rather just mow lawns, don't do cleanups, and then just shovel.
Well, it may take you a while to get with just those two services.
I don't know what they decided with down in Castle Rock, but it's like pine trees everywhere. So you just get pine needles everywhere, and cleaning those things up are so annoying. Because they're all in zero-scaped areas.
Make sure to charge a good hourly rate.
Yeah, if you hate doing something, just charge a higher rate, and maybe you'll be surprised. Like, I don't hate this so much.
Yeah.
And then get that part-time helper, and then he can do it and pay him well, and then there you go. You're off to the races.
I need to figure out how to do snow pricing, which will probably be a different meeting when it comes closer.
Yeah, maybe we'll do that in
just because I got a lot of
September,
people in that 55-plus neighborhood asking me, because they asked me when I signed up about lawn mowing, they're like, do you plan on doing snow? I'm like, well, yes, I plan on doing snow. I just haven't thought about it
$60 a driveway. There you go.
My pricing is going to be way higher than mowing is because it's more dangerous. It's colder. It honestly, it sucks being like shoveling heavy wet
it's just
snow.
more or less, do you charge one flat fee for the whole season, or do you do per push?
So I think I'm at $495 for a seasonal prepay. And that's from the first snow in 2022 till the last snow in 2023.
$499, you said?
$495.
Oh, 95. Okay.
And so my pricing now is like the first 4 inches is like $35, and then 4 to 7 I add $10 or $15, and then 7 to 9 I add $10 or $15, and then 9 and over I'm like at like just $6 an inch, $8 an inch, something like that.
Because I've met a guy that says that he does snow, because he started with a lawn care business and now he's focusing on landscaping, but he does snow in the winter. But he says he doesn't do anything less than $50 per.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
That's what you were.
Two-car garage is $50. 3-car garage is $60, and then if you're on a corner lot, it's probably like $70, $75, depending on how big of a corner lot.
Yeah, a lot of mine are just like sidewalks in front, because in Denver, a lot of people have the alleys, and they don't. They don't have
$50.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, don't be afraid to push it and see what happens. Put some numbers up there. See what sticks.
Because I'm like, if I do $50 per, like, for each.
And also got to understand, when you're doing snow removal, it's always like at midnight and 5 in the morning. You're never gonna get a day. You know what I mean? Unless you're falling behind, because usually they want everybody. All these people want to wake up and like, oh, it's snow, but it's clean. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's a dangerous job too. And your guys are out driving around. When you have guys, like, don't be afraid to charge. If we do snow, we're gonna be very expensive, but I guarantee you, there's probably someone who's more expensive than we are. So.